Oh shit! I said that right from the gate.
Hey,
Sorry.
that's the
Don't
that's
ding us. Don't
right.
ding us.
That's the best way to start. Not knowing what the fuck's going on, man.
Listen,
We are the loud drunk assholes. This is what we
dude.
do.
Oh my god, we're gonna be in trouble. Okay.
Again,
What
what
look,
happens when I
dude.
do
Like
that?
what, dude? I'm in Twitter jail right now, or X. I'm in X jail because I told the POTUS. I said, whoever's typing this for this child molesting racist pig, don't you go home and take a shower? Right. Let's see.
I saw a meme today that was hilarious. It was a little hand drawn, and it was. I mean, I could have drawn better, but you should get the point. But it was this one person going, "You can't talk to me like that. The appropriate term is minor attracted. You can't." And the next frame was the fist connecting with his face.
Dude.
It was great.
If you did
What's up,
not
Nate?
see it, I might have
Brummel?
sent. it to you on IG. Let me check if I did, because if I did,
What's up,
that's
Gavin?
I'll have you look at it. If I didn't, I'm going to send it.
Like
to
you don't know,
'cause
Gavin. You just talk to these people,
Whatever.
except Nate.
Where's the comments? Dude, why are they doing that? Okay,
Why are they doing this? Fuck, Kenny, what's going on?
No, I didn't send it to you. Okay, I sent it to everybody else. Hang on.
Oh, you sent it to everybody else, but not me. I see how that is.
Wait, what the fuck
I'm
was
the
I
redheaded
looking for?
stepchild.
What was I looking for? Dude, I
don't know. You didn't tell me.
Oh, Phil Memphis.
I mentioned a funny meme to you, and you said, "Oh, did I send this to you?" No, I sent it to everybody, just not you.
Okay, hang on.
I had an X like that. She fucked everybody.
Okay, look, if I hit search, oh my god, when you hit search, it's all boobies on there.
I can't believe I said that out loud. You've had that X, haven't you, Kenny? I probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
I shouldn't talk about this with being a married man. She might offend me, but I mean,
it?
yeah. You ever have that girlfriend fucks everybody but you?
Yeah. No. Haven't, but it sounds like. Anyway, I don't know where it is now, but this. Hey, where's Reels? No. Oh shit. No. Don't. Dude, why are you going up her skirt? Okay, listen. I'm getting off Instagram. Anyway, it was. Gmoski put a post up, and it was this chick walks up, and this dude's 20 years old, and he's supposed to meet a 13-year-old girl, and some dude's like confronting the guy on camera with the microphone, right? Like busting this dude, like total fuck, right? And
right.
this random chick walks up and is like, "What's going on over here?" And he's like, he's supposed to meet a 13-year-old girl. Okay, how old are you? And he's like, I'm 20. And he goes, what? Why are you trying to meet a 13-year-old girl? And then the guy goes, I thought she was 16. And he goes, she goes, that doesn't matter. And she reaches up and smacks the crap out of him, and then pulls out pepper spray and sprays him and chases him all the way around the building, down the side, all the way around the back, down the other side, out into the street, almost got hit by a car. Like, this woman was not playing.
Don't go breaking my heart.
What up? Oh, we got Ramo, we got Metro, we got Nate. What up? We got Gavin. I don't know where everybody else is, but they're busted. Anyway.
Busted.
So, how you been, man?
Yeah, you know the answer. For those out there that don't know, I mean, let's see. I've drove into somebody else's house in the past week. I've been shot out of a Canon. I have. I mean, it's been a fucking week, man. So, I tell you what. If there's a hair on your ass, you'll see. The mine's legal, man. This is prescription.
Whoa,
so.
Wait! I got a shot glass and I got stuff.
I already know the answer to whether or not Kenny has hair on his ass. He's made sure to let us know. He showed us.
Dude, listen.
It's beautiful.
Listen, I'm
work of art ass.
I am not a bushy person. I'm not. Like
I have like
this. I have like this Norwegian gene or some shit that like makes you not have a lot of hair on your body. Like in order to grow
out of a cannon, Nate.
Yeah, that's why it's called shot out of a cannon tonight. See this stuff here? I got this by putting Rogaine on my face. Like, I'm not a hairy dude.
Dude, a dude like me and the word Rogaine don't even need to be in the same sentence. I'm
Rogaine,
already hirsute,
Rogaine would require that your trimmer gets done with one of them DR trimmers. Remember them commercials? They go through
Yeah,
the freaking tree.
I had a crazy fall today, Nate. And it's actually kind of funny. Cheers, y'all. Some of these people have already heard the story, but the way it happened, I fell about 8 feet with velocity onto concrete because what happened, I got launched and it was like, whew. If the people outside, this is where the joke come from. Somebody standing outside would have just all of a sudden seen my airborne body come flying out like it was shot out of a
Right.
cannon. And the concrete was not very forgiving. I'm good though. I'm good.
When he sent me the message of what he did, when he sent me the message of what he did and described it, I was like, tonight, I go, you don't have to do the podcast, bro. Take care of yourself. And he's like, no, I'm ready to do it. I want a drink. I'm like, okay. I go, tonight's podcast is shot out of a cannon.
And what's funny is my coworkers, wife and daughters, who I knew they were there, and I was so hoping that they didn't see me. I hit the ground, and I actually, after I landed on my back, I went ass over head twice more, and saw their car, and I thought they weren't looking, and I had no air in my lungs, so I go crawling back toward the dock, hoping that I can get there before they see me, and I'm getting laughed at, right? So Josh tells me later they called to ask if I was okay because they did see it happen. And they said it looked like someone had taken me and picked me up and thrown me out the dock like a baseball. Mm-hmm. So still, like I said, to the people outside, they just saw me come flying.
Howdy, JP.
Out of
Gavin,
the warehouse.
welcome back. Welcome in.
Thank you, Nate. Yeah, I'm good. It just hurt my pride more than anything, and I'll feel it tomorrow. I'm good though. I mean, by the time I'm done drinking, I'm not gonna give a fuck.
In other news,
hope Lizzo's okay.
Yep, Lizzo.
That was a funny promo.
Listen.
I love Tom.
Listen. I'm gonna tell you right now. I got a remix of a song that I want you to react to with me, right? But you haven't seen the original yet, so you and Jocelyn need to do Oliver Anthony, Richmond North of Richmond, and then on next week's podcast, you and I do the Chris Webby remix of it.
I'm good with that. I mean, we've actually got a donation to do that one, so we'll be done this weekend, and
that will be perfect.
Monday
next week we'll get this. We'll do this Chris Webby one. You'll notice a connection in the theme. There may even be others that all pull up at that point in time, remixing the same thing. I reacted to it, and the minute I heard,
what's up, Danny?
with
JP?
I'll put it to you this way: within 10 seconds, you will already have fallen in love with it. I'm just guaranteeing you. As a musician,
wife's been the only thing to do that, so it better be good.
As a musician, you're going to appreciate it for sure. But in other good news,
I'm gonna pretend I hate it just so I can fuck with you.
What's up, Danny?
Just because I'm feeling like a contrary bitch.
For those of you who aren't in the Discord and don't know too much about us on a personal level, I've been waiting. Yeah,
run.
I've been waiting for it's been since January 1st for my wife, and she switched jobs, and she just got hired today.
Bear,
what up, Bear?
Tonight. He went,
and what my wife ended up doing today is accepting an offer to be a special education teacher for junior high or grade school kids, 4th to 8th grade.
Awesome.
So,
congrats.
Yep, yeah, it's been a long journey, and with our son being autistic and the work she's done with other autistic kids, she's going to do great with it. And this was something that we talked about because as well as everybody else does how bad I want to get out of California. And when you have a job like this, you can go anywhere. So no, not me, Nate, my wife. is going to be teaching special education.
We don't want Kenny teaching shit.
Dude, I
love you, brother, but that's the truth.
I can teach you how to fucking set up your guitar. Shit, if you don't mouth off,
you can teach me how to glue a man's dick to his stomach.
Oh, that's easy. That requires 8 beers for all of us. Okay, and then
I might need a few more.
Okay, I didn't say there you were restricted to beer, but a minimum of 8 beers plus whatever you need. But no, like if you keep your mouth shut, I could teach you how to make a guitar. But other than that, yeah, I have a
little insight into that. My big this has been a secret of passion thing of mine. If I'm done as a performer, I really want to make basses, and I just need.
Oh, right. Kenny teaching smoking and drinking 101. Is that a college course?
But I just need tools. I'd like to build custom basses, but I just need
absolutely
tools.
Well, you and I both appreciate, like, when we look at instruments, when we're watching videos and reacting, we're not just paying attention to the lyrics. If there's actual musicians playing, we're looking at their setup. As a bass player or a guitar player or a drummer,
and I'm listening to what sound. I'm listening to what sound they get out of it, and I apologize in our reactions all the time. Yep. Sometimes, unless it's Tom or somebody that we're really specifically listening for lyrics, when I'm listening to bands, 9 times out of 10, it happened to us with Sleep Token. That Sleep Token, the lyrics. The first time through, I didn't hear none of that shit. All I heard was the band sound. But I'm like you, because I mean, as a guy myself, and everyone has a particular sound that you want. My sound is very punchy and ballsy in the low end, and so yeah, especially if it shows them playing on stage, live or anything like that. Yeah, the lyrics, I give a fuck. I'm paying attention to what he's playing through, what sound he's getting by doing that.
And you're looking at kind of trying to figure out the vintage of the equipment. Right? There's a big difference between somebody playing a brand new jazz bass and somebody
versus
playing a
59 or something. Or a 63.
Right?
Yeah,
right?
Good year.
There's a very big difference. Yeah. With guitars, we look at amplifiers. Yep. We pay very close attention to what amp are you using, what effects are you using.
Hey man, don't think bass players don't pay attention to their amp.
Yep.
I'm very peculiar. Absolutely. I'm very peculiar about what I want out of my amp and what I want out of the cabinet I'm playing through, because I tend to not use a lot of effect. I get the sound I use with raw cabinet and raw amp sound. So I'm very peculiar about what I'm playing through. Because I try not to use a lot of effects. Now, if I'm doing a certain thing
somewhere. So apparently we have to prep. Jesus,
and
you know what, Mitch, you did this on purpose because you know what rig I've been hitting out of. This is stupid. I don't know why you make me do this stuff, Mitch.
Don't be stupid. You know he's gonna hit it,
dude. It's my middle name. Stupid.
Kenny Dick. So Dick.
Listen,
hey Dick.
Hey, I still say I'm gonna slap the shit out of both my parents in heaven or wherever dad is. I might be one or the other, either mom or dad. One of them's getting it. But like, dude, that was bullshit. They shouldn't have named me that. And like, whatever.
Look, my mom named me Daniel, and I understand that's from my great grandfather, whose last name was Daniels, and she liked the name Daniel. And then after Daniel, she put my middle name. And I've actually told my mom, I was like, I love you dearly. And I would never in my life raise my hand to you. But I want to slap you over my middle name. And I'm like, why did you do that? What about me says that,
You want to hear the funniest thing with a name?
Of course, I was a little raisin when she named me. So.
For me, it was my grandpa. He was like not my real grandfather. My real grandfather passed away before I was born, but like my grandma remarried, and this was my grandfather when we moved in. And he, excuse me. What the hell were we talking about? Damn, that hit. What? Oh yeah, names. So, dude, listen to this. He's German, right? German. Came over here from Germany. Okay? Family came over here. right after the First World War, Germany. All right. So he's German, right? Like the last name's going to be hell ass German, right? So, but they had this tradition by like everybody in the family was named something like, like some crazy ass German first name, right? And then they came over
Hashtag hella
here.
ass German.
Yeah, and then they came over here and they had to like act like they fit in, so they named their kids like weird shit, right? But my grandfather was the seventh son because he had 12 kids. They needed a PlayStation. Jesus Christ. All right, 3 sets of twins too. All right, but my grandpa Ted, okay, hell ass German, right? Because he was a seventh child. Think about this, and he goes to war as an American in the Navy for America. He goes to World War II. He's getting ready to go get launched, right? And his parents named him Theodore Roosevelt Gosel. Like, dude, because they name him after somebody famous. He got like a harsh ass German name.
Wipe your camera off, man.
Dude, my camera, dude, it ain't gonna put a tooth back here. God. All right, who's talking? Nate. Dude, my real grandpa's name was Paul.
You know what I like about my name? I always, for the longest time, I thought Daniel itself didn't fit me, and then I read up what the name of my name means, and it means judged only by God. And I like that. I'm like, I mean, because ultimately that's the only person that has the right to judge anyway. But I like that that's what my name means. Like, motherfucker, step off me.
Look,
you ain't got to like me.
I've had a few kids, and it helps to be sober when you name them, or not intoxicated on some other device. Because, I'm just saying there are kids.
I'm going to name our child Acid Flower.
There are kids out there named Dweezil and Moon Unit. Okay, if you know, you know.
And Ahmed.
If you know, you know, right?
And the other brother now,
and you cannot tell me that was not under the influence of something.
And it kills me. No, I mean, you know who I'm talking about, Ahmed, right? He used to host there was a game show he hosted, but it's like Dweezil, Moon Unit, and Ahmed.
And Dweezil.
What was the thought processes?
Dweezil and Ahmed put together a group called Z. And and they had an album. Their first album was called Shampoo Horn. And I swear to God, it is literally like listening to Frank Zappa, but better. Because like his guitar work was insanely fast and clean. Whereas Frank's, if you actually listen to his solos when he's doing stuff as a musician, you will hear the flaws, but how the flaws don't matter because of what he just did with it.
Right. It's like, I mean, it's like Janis Joplin, man. Janis Joplin didn't have the greatest singing voice in the world, but man, she blew you the fuck over with it.
Yeah.
And, and we talk about this too, musicianship wise, not every, you mentioned fast and clean, and there are times for that. And that gets you in that guitar hard on. But then there are other guitar players. Gilmore's done it.
Cheers,
Clapton, B.B. King. There have been a lot of Wes Montgomery, even guys that could fucking, play one note for 2.5 minutes, and absolutely destroy you with that one note.
Dude, if I think about it, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Randy Rhoads, obviously Eddie Van Halen.
Everybody on here, go look up some Sean Lane. I'm gonna educate some people on Sean Lane.
Oh yeah, Santana. You cannot.
Sean Lane. Sean Lane's biggest claim to fame. He never got famous like a Vi, or he was never. Nobody ever knew him. But
Satriani.
He did get awarded the fastest guitar player to ever live in Guitar Magazine. And
dude,
what was funny is he died at 40. He just went and laid down and died. The dude had agoraphobia really bad. Funny enough, and he couldn't, like, if you walked up to him and said, "Hey, I enjoyed your show," he would run and hide in the closet. But at 40, he literally just went in the hospital, laid down and died. Nobody really had an explanation for it. But anyway, he had fingers about that long. And Chuck He's not here tonight, probably, but he used to talk about the pickle fingers. He had little pickle fingers. It's like, how do you do what you do with them little fat pickle fingers? And the beauty was, even when he was that fast, he could be that tasteful. But his tasteful stuff, dude, I'm serious. Anyone that has not listened to Sean Lane, start with his All Along the Watchtower when he was like 16 years old. I won't have to say anything else to you. I'm sorry.
He's
a local product, and he's badass.
Dude, I gotta find his name now. Jesus. You're making me look.
The Sean Lane instructional video is hilarious, man. He's playing these. He's playing that while he talks to you for about 15 minutes. And then he finally goes, hey, and once you practice enough, you can do this. And he plays the whole thing back. And every note is clean. Every note speaks perfect. Yeah, but Satch and Johnson, I mean, Sean could have got up there and had some fun with those guys. Sean was very good. Shame he died young. My brother Drake was amazing. I've got some old recordings I got to dig out and turn to digital so I can upload them. But Drake was stupid too, and nobody ever got to hear him.
I'll tell you one that if you people out there will never know who this is. I'm gonna test Daniel's skills. Okay. Because at the time where Steve Vai started doing the multiple neck heart guitars,
right?
Wayne Charvel, Michael Charvel, and I were working on guitars, and one of the guitars we worked on was from Michelangelo Batteo. And nice. It was we did a 2-neck guitar, and then of course Steve Vai went and had a 3-neck guitar made. And then we did a 4-neck guitar for him. And that thing was a trip. But that dude could play at lightning speed. It's like some of his there's the 4-string guitar. Dude,
have you ever
let me see if I can
you know what the G3 tour is, don't you?
Yep.
You know what the all right.
Yep.
The best year it ever was. The best year it ever was Johnson, Satch, and Vi. And what's funny is they kind of have this unspoken agreement not to step on each other's toes. And they come out there. Satch put on a hell of a show. Johnson put on a hell of a show. And Vi come out and absolutely blew the house to pieces. But what I'm getting to is Vi's rhythm guitar guy that was doing all the chordal fast runs with him so he didn't have to use a chord machine. His name is McNeely or Neely or something like that. And he's another dude that's got them little short fingers about that big around. And I'm going to tell you what, Vi, if you ever see this, I'm sorry. That dude's better than Vi. And I think Vi knows it because he's not with him anymore.
Okay.
That little dude was bad.
For people that are non-guitarists, I'm sorry about the continuance of this conversation, but I actually own 2 pedals that are autographed by Eric Johnson, and he sent me a picture that was autographed for my birthday. I bought off his website. He had pedals that were on his board that he decided he didn't want to use, and switch. You know how we are, right? We buy a pedal, we think it's great, and then we hear somebody else has something different and it sounds better. So we do that. And so I bought the pedal, and he actually sold it for the exact same retail price as the pedal was, no more, right? And he autographed it. And then when I went to see him in concert and took my wife and my son, we went there, and I was going to bring my Stratocaster, but I couldn't figure out how to sit down with that thing in my pants, right? So, because I wanted him to autograph it, right? But I ended up bringing my wife. I told her, put this pedal in there, right? And we got there, and I looked at his setup. Like I got early and I walked up to the stage and I looked at his setup because that's what we geeks do, right? And I was like, okay. And I'm looking, where's this? What the hell is that? Okay, look over there. And what's on that tray over there? And I look around and I see this pedal and I go, oh, that's dope, right? And after the show, I talked to him about that pedal, and I say, I have that same pedal. If I brought it to you, if I gave it to you right now because it's in my wife's purse, would you sign it? And he said, I'll be right back. and he went over and got the pedal off his thing and signed it and gave it to me.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Like, dude, that pedal with my Mesa Boogie, holy shit. It's like it's a tube-driven pedal. All right, drink.
We can.
C3, who are you? I never seen you before. Did you find us here?
You got
How
that
so?
suspicious face, son. We don't know who the fuck you are. Who are you, C3PO? We're just curious. No, seriously. Just because we want to know. We're not that kind of asshole.
Because we're used to having just a few people here, so
it's
when
Bob,
anybody's
isn't it?
known,
Your name
we
is
want to know
Bob.
how they got it. What?
Right? It takes a certain kind of person to find us on the usual. So,
dude, because I'm shadow banned. In fact, when I looked at the stats on this video, only one person's looking for my channel. Wait, how many?
Now the thing is, I'm actually very surprised that we also catch some hell from that whole not as bad as of late, but early, because like your channel, we tend to say things that aren't necessarily popular right now, and sometimes YouTube don't like that
because YouTube don't pay my bills. In fact, if you're like me, because you're close to the same amount of subs as me, right? Like, let's be real, they don't pay a bill. Okay, when the check comes in, it's like, okay, now we can finally go get those extra things that we needed, right? Because they don't pay the bills. So YouTube, sorry, but y'all need to
look,
and let us watch what we want to watch and listen to what we want to listen to. Because I seen some of the other videos on YouTube and them getting shadow banned for what we did. Dude, have you ever seen like a Nicki Minaj video?
Right?
Dude,
that's what makes me mad is some of the shit of ours that gets blocked. I've seen so many other people do it. I'm like, why are you blocking us, man? Why?
Right?
If you're not blocking them, why are you not blocking us? Fucktards. Yeah, I said it.
How do I do this?
I'm gonna get this shit snatched for the night's over with. Hold on.
Wait.
My loud drunk and my asshole finna come out.
Hell yeah.
The motherfucker puckers like a bitch. You should see it. Winks. Especially when Rommel's in the room. Sorry, y'all. I didn't want to hear about my asshole.
Everybody wants to hear.
In case you're wondering, it's hairy like the rest of me, though. Just so you know.
Okay, hang on. Let's do this. Hey, get over here. All right, we're gonna try this. I don't know if this is gonna work. Okay, the guitar that we made. Where the fuck is it? Nope, I don't want to go there. Hey, that looks like it. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Here's the guitar we made for Michelangelo Matteo. That was the 4-neck one.
Nice.
Right? Dude, that thing had a lock system in the middle. So each one, now look at the angle of the neck distance, right? Can you imagine the size of the case? Because you get right from the middle out to both headstocks, right?
Now, what would be really bad is he ambidextrous enough to just turn and play, or does he have to spin it?
Oh, no, he does both sides, will spin it, doesn't matter. He plays both sides, left-handed, right-handed, upside down, underneath. Doesn't matter which direction. He can do it all. And he does it in like ridiculous speed, like crazy ass speed that he does it with. And he was always competing with Steve Vai. He never made it like Steve Vai did, but he was always competing with him to be faster and to have like the bigger guitar. And the funniest shit ever, look at this guitar for a second. Okay, he went to Japan for a show, and this was in 2 cases, and somebody stole both the cases from the airport. Can you imagine being the one who stole these and getting back to your little tiny ass 147 cubic foot apartment in Japan, right? And you open this and this is what you got. Like, you're like, what the hell did I do?
No. Imagine being the person that's got to go tell him his shit is gone.
Oh,
I just thought I'd need to tell you that yeah, your shit is gone,
dude,
brother.
I'll just put it this way. He called us right when it was going on, and he was irate as hell on the phone. And the only thing I told him was, we can make another guitar, but we ain't got bail money for you, homie.
Right? Do you know what the perfect solution to that problem was? Tar. Tar would have fixed it all.
Dude, Tar
would have fixed it all.
I'm just telling y'all, if you don't know about Tar, it's not my fault. You should have paid attention.
Look, if you ever, I don't know if you're still cool with Tar. I don't know if you and Tar still hang on. I don't know if Tar calls you home. But if you ever speak to Tar again and he has seen this, please let Tar know that I'm not insulting Tar. I just found you hit me out of left field with that night, and it has struck this funny chord within me that I cannot let go of. So, Tar, I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at you.
Oh, okay. Cool, Mitch. I don't know who they are. That's dope. I'm glad to see you here, Crypto, or CP30. I mean, glad to see you here. I may not always pay attention to the chat because, as the name of this program suggests, it's loud, drunk assholes. And I'm working on the drunk part. The high part is going great. All right. So, you mentioned that you want to do something to get upbeat. You know,
yeah,
you're
man.
Kind of feeling it.
It's been a fucking week, and I want to fucking get some fucking off about some fucking thing. So give me something fun.
I got something that I think you'll appreciate.
If this is a tearjerker, I'm going to board a plane and come punch you in the mouth.
Dude, what the hell? I hovered over it. Oh, I hovered over the forward button because I looked at that and I'm like, if we react to that, they're blocking that shit instantly. Okay, never mind. I got the right one pulled up. Okay, here we go. Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Aren't we supposed to smoke or something first? Or did we already do that?
I mean, I'm not afraid. All you gotta do is say something, motherfucker. I'm there.
All right. Here we go.
Hey, Rama, what did 5 fingers say to the face? Slap.
Right.
The milk's gone bad. The milk is gone bad.
So I did not get my wish. Kind of frustrated.
What wish did you have, Kenny?
That Southern California would strike a fault. They did. Wrong one. I wanted them to strike the fault that would separate my property from all of the shit that needs to fall into the ocean. So, like, I could have had beachfront property with like a high cliff, but
do you know? I'm positively sure that the guys down at City Hall really gave that some consideration, Kenny.
Dude, it was wild. The funny thing is I don't give a crap what the news says because they lie all the time. Every freaking news program lies all the damn time. Okay, so I was watching Storm Chasers. And I lived in Southern California now. For those of you who are not from an area of the South, and I'm just saying the entire South part of America, right? You may not know of the 10 freeway, okay? But the 10 goes from California all the way to Florida. Right. And that shit got closed in Palm Springs because of a huge flood with a giant debris field. Dude, and I was looking at all the trucks lined up, and I'm going, the only other way to go is 15, and that takes you into Vegas, and they're getting flooded right now, too. Really
quick. I have an I-10 story.
All right. Cool.
Once I got to college, and I had been to all the honor bands and all the clinics and all that kind of shit, and the big one down here is state band clinic. Every school sends so many kids, and then there's auditions, and the cream of the crop gets in the first band, and then with what's left, they make a second band that's actually very good. It's not. I mean, we're talking all the kids there are good. It's not like saying any of them are bad. All the kids that go are good. But the real good ones make a band. There's another band. Anyway, I did that shit in high school. I go to college, and I get sent by Delta State to recruit. with about 5 other people at that event. So I'm there talking to the kids like, hey, Delta State's a great place for this, that, whatever. And later that night, of course, all the college recruitment people got together. People from State, Ole Miss, Alabama. I mean, there was people from all over the place. They're recruiting good musicians, right? So we get together and get shitty. And I mean shitty. And myself and a girl named Beth Sharma, who is no longer with us, and Marvin Milner, who will get mad because I called him out on this story. We're walking the beach. Everybody else had crashed. Well, we crossed the highway to go back to the hotel we were staying in. Whoop, whoop. This cop flies up on me, man. I mean, puts his bumper on my leg, literally touching me. Jumps out of the car like I have just committed murder in front of him, and he's fixing to come. I mean, don't get me wrong. I support our police. I happen to be a magnet for the assholes, but I'm not anti-police at all. But this guy, right? He comes storming, and I mean, up to me. Boom. Do you know what you just did, boy?
Right.
I think I drank a lot, sir. I'm like, worst thing get me with is public drunk. But this guy goes, this is I-10. Do you know about I-10? Are you from around here? Yes, sir. I've traveled I-10 many times. This is the busiest highway and blah, 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 blah. And he's right here the whole time.
Yep.
And he's like, blah, 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 I-10 traffic, this, that, and the other. And I said, whoa, dude, wait. First off, you realize State Band Clinic was earlier tonight, right? He goes, yes. I was like, that means there were over 300 high school kids trying to access that beach, just running through this heavy traffic at will. Where were you at then? Because there's no cars on this highway.
Right.
At this point that we're talking is such in the middle of the night, there has not been any traffic. And so the cop gets on my shit again, and he argues, and I'm like, but dude, look, I get, write me the ticket for jaywalking. Stop yelling at me. I mean, if you haven't noticed, there's still, at this point of our conversation, been no traffic on this road, not even a single car.
Right.
And he gets louder and more obnoxious. And he finally goes, he's like, you might be fine. You might not be drunk, but the guy driving the car is. And I'm like, that's where you're wrong, motherfucker. I am absolutely wasted. And there's still been no cars on this goddamn highway.
Right.
At this point, I've got Beth and Marvin's like, Daniel. But it was if he had just come out and said, hey, dude, you were jaywalking, wrote me a ticket and walked away from it, I would have not said a fucking thing. But he made a point to sit there and scream at me for some time. I mean, it's not like I just went mean on the dude. He'd been in my shit for a minute.
I'll tell you, some of you know this a little bit about
That's my I-10 story.
Some of you know this about me, but I've been popped a few times. I did my time, life changed, everything got better, right? I was a drug addict. But, dude, I got popped on I-10. Me and my buddy, we were going out to my sister's house, right? And we were going to drink with my brother-in-law, right? Like, he was getting the beer, and we were supposed to bring some hard liquor and whatever, right? Now, mind you, I'm 18 years old, right? So me and Mikey go and we pick up some liquor bottles, right, and some beer, and we drive from El Monte to Redlands, right, which is like 45 minutes, 50 minutes away. And we get out there and we get off the road, and this cop gets behind us, and I'm like, chill, right? And so we drive, and we're driving through these orange groves, because you go through the orange groves to get to my sister's house. And I'm driving, and I turn over here, the cop turns this way, I turn this way, the cop turns this way, I turn this way, the cop turns this way, and I'm like, fuck it, I turn back this way, and the cop turns behind me, hits the lights, and I'm like, what are you doing, right? Like, and my right when I pull over, my passenger, my best buddy, Mikey, dude, jumps out of the car and runs into the orange grove, right? And so I'm like, what the hell is going on here, right? I look at the cop, I'm like, why'd you pull me over? And he's like, okay, have you been drinking tonight? And I'm like, nope. And he goes, nope. Do you have any drugs with you? I'm like, nope. And he goes, you haven't been drinking? And I go, nope. And he goes, all right. He looks in the car and he goes, I want you to open the trunk. So I open the trunk and he looks and here's all these bottles of booze and all this beer, right? And the cop is like, all right, start pouring them out. So I'm dumping the beer out. He goes, where'd your friend go? I go, he said he had to pee, right? The cop's looking like he ain't coming back, man. You better call him out here, right? I want to search him. And I'm like, Mikey, come back, bro, right? And I'm sitting here dumping beers out on the side of the road. And the cop's like, hey, if you don't come back, you're leaving him here. Yeah, the cop goes, if you don't,
like, these aren't the droids you're looking for.
Yep. If he don't come back, then you're leaving, right? Like, because he saw my driver's license, he knew I was 50 miles away from home, right? And he's like, if he don't come back, you're leaving, right? Like I was gonna leave my buddy that far away. And so I was like, Mikey, and he didn't come back. And then we get to the last bottle, and if you're old enough, you'll have heard the name, but if you're old enough, you may have even drank it. He pulled out a bottle of Brass Monkey.
Oh yeah.
And I looked at him and I said, no, it's not even open, man. And he goes, all right, put it down. I go, how about I just put it down here on the ground and I drive off and leave it? And he's like, okay. So I put the bottle of Brass Monkey down. I got in my car and I left my buddy Mikey and I took off, bro. And then I waited. I hid like fucking, I don't know, 3 orchards over or some shit for like 20 minutes. And I came back and Mikey's standing out there and I pull up and there ain't no bottle of Brass Monkey. I'm like, that cop took that shit. That's dope.
Kill monkey.
Right?
Yeah, man.
I ain't even mad, dude. We could have gotten busted like a month for that. You know that.
Yep. Monkey was a rite of passage when I was in college. It's like you had to have at least one night of getting shit faced with monkey.
Oh, Brass Monkey. Yep.
Yeah, to be fucking. Dude, I'm having a liquor / cigar emergency. I need 15 seconds.
Okay, get him. What's up? It only says there's 4 watching. Who's the 4? Who's here? Say hi. Damn. Just the bots. Okay, wait. Nate's here. Nate, what up? Does my mic sound a little better in here than it did before?
Dude. I just told my wife I need a drink. She's going to be an awesome wife enough to bring it to me because she's sweet to me that way. But let me tell you what she's in there doing. She is in there in the process of making a banana pudding cake.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Nate. Dude, wait, I'm coming over. How much are airline
Come
tickets?
on, man.
Hang on.
Oh, I just
shut off my phone
batter
because I got an
tastes
annoying
like
phone
fire,
when you're
man.
talking.
This is what I needed first, and then I realized I needed a drink. She'll bring me a drink, but I had to have a cigar.
Okay, dude, my plan.
Pardon me, viewers. I'm
a
slave to
this. Sorry, viewers.
I'm gonna lick it and fuck it. If that makes you feel any better.
Plants are looking good right now.
Oh, awesome, dude.
We're down to 3. We're down to. I'm gonna look who's hiding. Watch this. Where are you? All right. Oh my. All right.
Oh God,
I'm asking the question. Is Gavin here?
He was.
Is Mitchell here?
Yes. Ish.
Damn. Okay. We have a boyfriend. Okay.
A what?
Oh, never mind. Spark again. Dude, you would say that. Hey, there's 2 of us. It's you and Nate. Tell these other dudes to get their BS's in here. We got a song we're going to do.
Brent, how did I do that?
I
just
know.
opened a cigar with another cigar apparently in my hand. How did I do that?
I don't know.
Wait, somebody said we had to spark. I don't have to twist my arm.
D said spark again.
You got to twist my shit. It's like Willie said, we didn't smoke because it was a thing to do. We smoked because it got you high.
Yeah, they don't listen to you. I'll punish them later. Stacy, how you doing?
What's up, Stacy?
You don't have to be a dude. The dudes seem to be like, I don't know. I ain't gonna use the right word for it because it might get us kicked off. But it starts with the B and ends with the yaches.
Stacy, I made mention of you, I think, in a live stream the other night when we had some newbies, and I was like, Stacy's the one that would stab you, just in case we needed that done.
Damn, there's your label, Stacy. I'm sorry. I was not involved in that decision-making process.
It's better than John Boy.
Dude, what's wrong with John
Stacy's
Boy?
not going to have a problem stabbing somebody. All I got to do is give her a surgical needle where you want them stuck.
What's wrong with John Boy? Like, there's worse things he could be called.
That joke goes all the way back to the beginning, just about the beginning of our channel with Stacy and the John Boy thing. That's a long way back. And she has never once, bless her heart, acted offended that I have called her John Boy.
Well, what's funny is I'm thinking about getting a John boat, and I'm going to name it John Boy.
Get you a John boat, name it Stacy.
And then everybody will ask what that means. I'm like, John Boy.
John Boy, right? See, yeah. And then don't say a fucking thing else. That'll confuse them even more. And don't say anything else on the subject. And leave it at that. That is beautiful,
right. Dude. Look, we got a few people in here. I don't know who's in here, but y'all say hi to us because we got a song coming up, and we're pretty high for us. So we're at that point where we're almost loud. Maybe. And
there's different levels of being pretty high. I'm not,
and I'm willing to be an asshole.
I'm high, but
but actually,
what are we watching? You hadn't told me yet. Oh,
today is.
I didn't hear anything. God bless you, y'all. The beautiful wife. Most of y'all know who she is. Look at that butt. Ha ha ha. Kenny froze up on me. Is Kenny froze for anyone else? Can you hear me, Kenny? Is it just my shit? What's going on? We could be 5 minutes into the reaction and I wouldn't know right now. What's happening? Kaboom. Uh-oh.
There we are.
There we are.
Oh, look. I was about to get music.
Damn it, he froze again. So Parcheesi, anyone? How many of y'all are even old enough to remember Parcheesi? I don't even know if you can hear me. He's power in this show, so if his shit's froze, I don't know if mine is or no. What? There he is.
Dude, listen, I'm gonna fuck this shit up in 4 minutes, dude. I'm gonna who has Tannerite? Fuck this computer.
That's one of my favorite Demon Jones songs, man. Tannerite.
Dude, I love that song, dude. Hey, he's got some.
Oh, you're killing me. Ladies and gentlemen, due to technical difficulties, the show will now go on as planned.
No, it doesn't, because it says there's still technical issues. There goes. Oh, went away. Listen, if you see technical issues, it's actually Shannon's fault because he is in charge of pushing the button to disconnect and connect, and that's his job. So here we go. Dude, I'm not clicking the mouse. Dude, I got my hand on this thing. What the hell? It does the lights. All
That
right,
is a
you
lot of
ready to
colored
hear this?
buttons. Do you have a color coding chart for that?
Dude, no, I'm afraid to push the buttons because I did it one time and it just started flashing everything and I couldn't shut it off. It's like this color is perfect. It works. Okay, here we go. This is our song to get us upbeat.
What? Yes, I still don't know. What is it?
Vinjay, no excuses. If you've never heard of
Ben
Vinjay,
J.
if you've never heard of Vinjay, this is your intro, and then I would
It is.
recommend the next song would be Mumble Rapper versus Lyricist.
Got you.
Here we go.
Oh, he looks aggressive.
Here we go.
I got no sound. All I see is a motherfucker doing push-ups. I got no sound.
What do you think it's so far?
I got no sound. All I can see is a video. I've got no sound.
Dude, you got no sound?
I didn't hear any of that. I didn't hear any of that.
Oh, well, this thing sucks. Hang on. I'm going to fix this.
Okay, nobody had sound. Cool.
Nobody
I saw
had
you
sound.
jamming. I saw you jamming, but I'm like, I
All
got
right,
nothing.
hang on. We're
I
going to
didn't see the
figure
video,
this
though.
shit out. All right, let's see. Let's go.
Don't get too drunk to operate the heavy machinery.
No,
actually, you can never be too drunk to operate heavy machinery. You just might be too drunk to operate it wisely.
That's not where I was trying to go. I was trying to go to. Oh, here we go. Audio. Let me figure this shit out.
Kablam!
Dude, no, we ain't trying to do that shit. Video.
I tell you what I'm trying to do.
Don't
somebody
don't
have a shot with
me. I'll have a shot. Okay, here we go.
That'll fix it.
I can't believe the audio doesn't work. I'm about to kill the stream and start exploding on people. By the way, speaking of exploding, Daniel, did I happen to send you the news clip about what happened on Sunday? It's in the general chat. Somebody put a big ass bomb in a metal mailbox 3 doors over there and blew the shit out of it on Sunday, dude. Yeah, like shrapnel everywhere. I was like, what the fuck, dude? And then they're like, that's domestic terrorism. I'm like, fuck them up. Right? Like, I don't
working too hard to pour that shot.
What?
I
got my shot.
Cheers.
Yeah, dude. And then I was like, holy shit, it was on all the news channels. And I'm thinking, did I wake up for that? We drove by to take my son to school today, and we drove by, and here's this stand, and the whole fucking mailbox is not there. I was like, yeah, and it was some fucking kids in a big ass 4-wheel drive truck. So there's some redneck motherfuckers out here that did it, dude. I'm like, as a kid, dude, you might have picked the wrong target. You should have just thrown that like into a field somewhere or something.
Right. Certain movies have depicted this, and back in the woods in the day, it was a thing for high school kids to get fucked up and ride around, take a baseball bat, and as they're driving by, take out mailboxes. Till motherfuckers got smart. You know how they stopped kids from doing that here? They didn't get the law involved. A couple motherfuckers put steel posts with concrete. It wasn't actually a mailbox. It was just it was a mailbox, but it was full of concrete. So when them motherfuckers swung that bat, it broke their goddamn wrists when they hit it.
Oh, dude, that's crazy.
It stopped that shit though.
Oh, yeah, dude. I would
because then they got to go home and everybody's like, "What happened to you?" Well, I was destroying somebody else's shit.
I would do it once and I never do it again. That's the difference between kids now and when we were kids, because we would get our ass whooped enough that we would like figure out whether or not that was worth doing again. Okay. Right. Nowadays, kids get like, I'm going to take your tablet away. Of course, they're going to have a hissy fit, but there's no real punishment, right? Like we had Corporal. you got your ass beat because you did something stupid. Sometimes
Dude,
it might have not been you, and you
I
got
got
it
my ass
anyway.
beat in school, dude. And the thing is, you
Yep.
know, my kids now they'll tell me that things that like that were abuse, and I'm like, no, it's not. You don't know the whole story. You don't know what I did. I had that shit
Oh,
coming.
dude,
I'm like, I told her, I was like, I promise you, you think well that's abuse? If you do that, if you do what I did, that's what you can expect, because that is not just a now you shouldn't do that kind of conversation. That's an ass whooping.
dude, Nate,
That's an
listen,
ass whooping.
listen. It was Sunday night. There's either a good chance that I tried to do it that night, or I took too many sleeping pills. So it is what it is. Um, he said, "Leave it to Kenny to sleep through an explosion." Uh, dude, I wake up. I have
Don't be
sensitivities.
fucking with
Like
Palpatine.
the big sensitivity is smell. Like if my wife rips one in the middle of the night, that's gonna wake me up. You know, and then I yell, and then she blames it on the dog. I'm like, it isn't the dog.
Kenny gonna be in the doghouse tomorrow. Yeah, I heard you talking about me farting in my sleep, motherfucker.
Listen, my
Yeah,
my wife will freely admit that she farts in the bed and blames it on the dog. It is what it is. She can't deny it because it's the truth. So,
Look, let me
do
tell you
you
something.
want to try this and see if there's any
Jocelyn,
audio?
hold on real quick. Jocelyn and I have been together almost 20 years now. I have never once heard that female fart. She has even trained herself to hold it in her sleep. She is not going to fart in front of me. I'm like, it will be so liberating. Just let it go. Just let it go. I've never heard that woman fart in our entire, it'll be 20 years here in about 2 months. And the entire time, I've never heard that woman fart.
Dude, my wife, no. Like the worst part is she denies it. She blames it on the dog, and I'm like, dude, I felt it. I felt it under the sheet. Like you can't deny it. But that's okay.
Now,
She's crazy. I'm crazy. We love crazy.
I do also have a gassy dog. Casper,
Uh-huh.
that motherfucker coming here, and all of a sudden me and Jocelyn will both be like, fuck.
Oh,
Casper will be like, he'll put his
Stacy,
head down.
I'm telling you, the one thing that I can actually remember that woke me up was me and my first wife were living in Ontario, uh, and we were right across the street from the 10 freeway, ironically, and on the other side was the Ontario airport, and the Northridge earthquake went off, and that jolted us because it felt like the bed dropped like 8 inches, and then I landed on it, and then it threw me back up.
Damn.
And that dude, that was wild. And I remember my ex-wife trying to get up, and I go, "What are you doing?" And she goes, "I want to check on the kids." And I threw her down on the bed. I'm like, hold still, hold still, hold still. And she's like, "Why?" And I go, "They're not near a window. Relax." Right. And so the thing ended, and we got up, and my kids slept through it. They slept through the whole thing. But I had my motorcycle was in the garage, and I had a 1970 orange full stack in my garage, and it fell over on top of my motorcycle and set the alarm off. And that's what woke my kids up. They didn't wake up during the earthquake. They woke up because the alarm went off on my motorcycle.
I cannot pick on you because my wife and I, neither one of us get a whole lot of sleep, but we have two completely different sleep issues. She is a light sleeper. If a cricket farts down the road,
Hey,
it wakes
Lorelai.
her up. Me, I may lay there and fight to go to sleep for 4 hours before I actually go to sleep. But once I'm asleep, dude, you could come in here and fire gunshots over my head, and I probably wouldn't hear you.
Dude, I wish I could sleep sound. I wish I could just lay down and not remember anything and wake up in the morning. But my head, even with the sleeping pills they give me and shit, my head just does not shut down.
It doesn't stop.
Right?
When I was a teenager, they get this was long before Ambien. I'm trying to remember what that shit was they gave me when I was a kid, and it would completely fucking immobilize me. My body I wouldn't be able to move. So then I would just be trapped in my brain, and my brain would still be doing this. and I was a vegetable. I mean, I was completely unable to move, but that didn't shut my brain off.
Which, to the people who are in our little family Discord, they'll attest to this. They'll see me at 7:30 in the morning my time, and I get on and I'm yawning, right? Because I did not sleep well, right? I'm chugging coffee and I'm still sitting there like, oh, I just don't sleep well at night. I attest it to stress levels. We're all living through it. Cost of everything, the amount of taxes they're taking out, the gas prices, all that crap, and we're all under some level of stress. And mine is, you'll understand this is the head of the house. My stress level is like through the roof right now.
Right.
Yeah,
so, man, because you're trying your best, and right now the way everything is, your best just ain't cutting it. It's beyond you. And as a person that puts that on your shoulders, that doesn't make you feel very good about you. Right. Like, no matter what you fucking do.
Yep.
Like
we all go through that process of our desperate measures thoughts. Like, how far am I willing to go? Am I willing to get rid of this? Am I willing to do this? Whatever it is. That it with a an 8-month process, almost going on to 9. I went through that, and you guys as family and friends helped me get through it, because it was a shitload. Like, I'm sitting here, I had an uncle move out who was contributing money to the house, and my wife was quitting her job because she had a teaching job lined up. And it was like, when the teaching people weren't calling back and they weren't sending a letter of intent, like, I started panicking, like, okay, we have no income. What are we going to do? Right. We have my income through my disability, but, and I went through that level of stress, and it was awesome because you guys have been such amazing friends and family that, help you let me deal with it with you guys. So,
man, it has, and that we fucking on our channel we have meant that from the start, and especially in our Discord. That's why here lately I've been, every time somebody posts our Discord in their live stream, I get a little assy for a minute. I'm like, look, if you're gonna bring drama, don't do that shit. We're not there for numbers. There's a community there that's and not everybody's happy with everybody all the time. What no family is. But that's we try to create it, and y'all are, man. Y'all, you've heard me say it a million times. Y'all don't know what y'all don't realize what y'all help us through. If we have helped you at all, dude, I consider that even Stevens an honor, because y'all don't realize this. Like I said, this is because I'm a high-strung, emotional dude. Mm-hmm. She's quiet until it overwhelms her, And this is this family we talk about, man. These y'all don't know, man. If it wasn't for y'all, I'd have been up on some. I've had sniping motherfuckers.
I've had this family tell me at the perfect time when I need to back the down. I've had this family encourage me when I was crushed. You guys have gotten me through so much too. It's amazing because all of this came about because of music, right? Like, nobody would know you guys if you didn't do reactions. None of the people in our family would know of you if you didn't do reactions, right?
You're kidding? I'm famous. Read the shirt.
Well,
I'm kidding.
Yeah, you're like,
same thing. I'm infamous in a few areas, but I'm not famous.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Nate. Like, nobody would know of me if it wasn't for reactions, and
right.
And your followers wouldn't know of me if it wasn't for the fact that I joined your Discord and talked to you guys, because you seemed like I knew you were in Mississippi, and I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna work, because they're gonna like call bullshit on me when I tell them I live in California, but like we think so much alike, it's not even funny.
The funny thing is, man, that mentality it's not a location; it's a state of mind, and it's from a different generation because you come from old school upbringing like myself. It didn't matter at that time if you were living in Oregon or Miami.
Mm-hmm.
There was a similar mentality, and it's hard to describe, man. That's a hard thing to quantify and really get in terms.
I think
with. But it was just a different overall attitude. There was certain things you did and did not do because it was just you just did or did not do it. There was a taste level on things. There was that the biggest thing was, and this was one of the lessons that my great grandfather, as early as when I was like 3 years old, started trying to instill in me, is just because you can do a thing doesn't necessarily mean you should do that thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Certain lessons like that get lost today.
I think if I tried to put a word on it, I would say we were raised in traditional methods.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't, timeout. It was, if you did something stupid enough, you were going to get your ass whooped for it, and then you figured out whether you ever wanted to do that again. And it made us understand there was consequences.
Right. And even now with the big hot topic now with the whole gender and transgender and all that kind of stuff, back then, people are under a misconception. Most motherfuckers didn't care. They didn't care. Your life didn't affect them. Your life, their life didn't affect you. They didn't care. It wasn't our business. That's the one. That's the one downfall to me. I mean, I love social media. I love. We have built a family, but in ways, one thing about social media and internet is everybody's in everybody's business now, and it's not about whether you don't have the right or do have the right to be what the fuck you want to be. It's not my fucking business.
Yep.
And my life's not your fucking business,
dude. That's
it. That's the only difference. People's got to make their business everybody's business.
Yeah,
and you got to be okay with it.
It's
not my business.
I firmly believe I don't care what you do, just don't bring it into my house without asking. Okay, like literally, because I have my quirks and whatever, and they may not suit everybody.
Right.
But like, this whole thing of division began based on whether or not you voted in 2016 for a certain person, right? And that's where the division began. You started. My family has literally like blocked me on Facebook because of who I voted for.
But you know what, Kenny? That was by design.
Yep.
None of this has been accident. This whole divisive culture, and that's one thing I love about Tom, is he calls it out constantly. This whole divisive culture, whether you have to, nobody's going to believe the same thing. You are a product of your environment. We're all going to have different values. We're going to have different things. And religiously, Christians, those of you that knock other people, shut your fucking mouth.
Yep.
The Bible says the only one that can judge is Him. Yep. You're supposed to love everybody. That's not your business.
The final command,
just like it's not my business.
The final command in the Bible, according to Jesus, was love your brother as yourself.
Exactly.
Right?
It's like, not your
treat people the way you want to be treated. They're not your enemy. Treat them like you care about them and you want to protect them.
And there's something. I grew up in a Southern Baptist church, man. There was just one kid that I always wanted to bring over there.
What's that?
And they're like, he's a troublemaker. I'm like, then what better place, supposedly by what you preach me, than the house of God? And don't get me wrong, I am a believer in God, and there's reasons I believe. But that particular environment, I was like, you're telling me a kid that needs guidance, a kid that needs to feel that there is something out there. That's why he's acting out, is the lack of this in his life, or like, this is supposed to be, anyway. but they're
Yep.
just as bad as the other side on a lot of things, unfortunately. And it's not Christianity; it's some of the Christians. I'm going to go ahead and just say it that way.
I'll put it
But
this way.
ultimately, it's
I'll
like I
put it
said,
this
I
way,
don't hate
'cause
anybody for how they live, but just you live it. It's not my business.
I was raised in a Baptist family where we had Baptist ministers and missionaries, right? Not Southern
Right.
Baptist, just Baptist, right? And
Right.
I went through that, and their angle was that they were the only ones that was right, and that everybody else was going to go to hell. And I remember looking. I looked at my grandma. I looked at my grandma when we were driving home, and I started crying. And she's like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "I don't want Grandma and Grandpa Johnson to go to hell, but they're Lutheran." Right? Like, and I realized it was a fear tactic. Believe exactly what we tell you, otherwise, you're going to hell.
Dude, Southern Baptists, they did a Valentine dance for us once. Encouraged us all to bring our girlfriend or boyfriend, and pretty much locked us in the building and jumped in our face about how we were going to hell if we fornicated as teenagers. Dude. But the funny thing is, I grew up in I can throw a rock right now from where I'm sitting and hit this church. And I grew up in it every Wednesday night, every Sunday morning, every Sunday night. I grew up, that was the thing here. And I told them when I left, if you don't stop attacking the young people of this church purposely, you're not going to have a church. Now there's
we got a few more.
That's the oldest Baptist church in Mississippi, and they've got like 12 members. It's bad.
Dude, I just remember that after everything I went through, no matter which church I went to, denomination I went to, religious belief system, Buddhism, Wiccan, whole thing, all of that. I went through the whole thing. And at the end of it,
I've been down all those roads.
And at the end of it, I realized I did not create any of this, and I was not capable of creating any of this. Right. And I don't know anybody in history who ever was capable of creating all of this. So there is a better being than me, and I don't know crap, but he does.
Right. And the two things that really bug me is how all these different religions look at each other. One, because ultimately their grand belief structure and ideologies.
Yeah, we got something we're gonna try. We tried
it's just practice different, and they get all over each other. And then the other thing that bothers me is the whole organized religion. I want you to think about this. At one time, as far as even with Christianity, there was one. And then one group said, you know what? We don't choose to worship the same way as you. So we're going to go over here and do our own thing. And then after a while, a group said, you know what? We choose not to do this way. We're going to go do our own thing over here. And now you have Presbyterian, you have Methodist, you have Baptist, you have Church of Christ, you have Southern Adventists. And it all began because some group of people thought that they should be worshiping a different way. In a way, so it began out of human arrogance. I'm one of those people. I have belief. I have faith, not religion. If that makes any sense.
I really think that organized religion is what's wrong. I don't believe there's any problem.
The fact that they've got a war with each other when they were basically believing the same thing is what bothers me.
I don't believe there's any problem with a difference in beliefs, because the reality of it is, whether you believe or not, we'll all find out in the end. Right? We will all find out in the end. And in the end, you'll find out whether or not your belief system matters. And that's all there is to it. My biggest problem with Southern Baptists, dude.
My biggest problem with Southern Baptists is they're real big into that. You believe because we say, or you believe blind. I'm like, let me tell you something. The one thing that the one, and first off, I was in this one church that didn't believe in music, and I was a musician, right? And I'm like, yeah, we talked about it, and I'm like, do you think that any talent is a gift from God? And they said, yes, absolutely, of course. I'm like, my talent is music. Why would God bless me with a talent that is blasphemous to him?
Right.
But this whole idea that,
I believe
man.
that nobody on earth is ever going to understand, and we'll figure it out in the end, right?
Right.
Either you're right or you're wrong, and it only matters to you. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not a
Right.
preacher. I'm not going to shove my
Right.
beliefs down anybody's throat. I just know
Exactly.
that
It's just not everybody
I
else's
have.
business.
Yep, I just know that I have a personal belief, and it's very personal to me, and it wouldn't work for anybody else. And I suggest
Right.
everybody get their own personal belief
And
not
these
worry
days,
about what
though,
people don't worry about what people tell you your
right.
belief should be. If you understand this, you've been in some tongue speaking churches before, right?
Oh God, yes.
Okay.
Look, dude, I had a
I
guy
went
he
I
tried to
went
get me to do the whole snake thing, and I said, you know what? He said, you don't believe that God will protect you from the snake? I said, I'm gonna tell you
right.
something.
I
This is where I was
understand
getting
that,
a while
dude.
ago. We're not supposed to follow blindly. We were given the ability of free will. We're supposed to question. And I told this guy, I said, I'm gonna tell you something. God doesn't make every decision for me. You're sitting there asking me to put a snake in my face, believing that God will prevent me from getting bit and possibly die from venom. I'm like, you know what? God gave me enough sense to not stick a fucking venomous snake in my face. That's how God protected me. He gave me enough sense to not do that.
When I was a young
Are we
child,
good?
when I was a young child, my grandmother was trying to give me some history about my family, and she brought up her uh, father, who would have been my great grandfather, and he was a Christian Scientist, and
Right.
he got ill, and the doctor said, with this treatment, you'll be fine, and the church said no. If his belief is strong enough, he'll be okay, and he died because he didn't get the treatment. And the church looks at that like a
Straight package.
condemnation in that particular
Right.
religious sect. They look at that as a condemnation, and in all reality, if they hadn't have told him that your belief in God will dictate how long you'll live, like, he could have got the treatment, because God gifted the doctors to be able to do the treatment that would
Right.
help him
Right.
to get better.
See, the problem is not in the ideology. The problem lies with people.
Yep.
That's the problem. That's the
Noah,
problem. Like I said,
Noah,
but whether it's Wiccans or Christians or Catholics, Baptists, whatever, Buddhists even, the core belief systems are really the same. Be good to people, don't be a dick.
Yep.
And you're trying to find this enlightenment to an afterlife. You're really believing the same things. Why do you have to fuck with each other? Why does we're right? And
Well,
like I had
and
this
it's
one
true.
church,
It's true
they only
because,
believed that 400,000 people were going to heaven,
right,
right?
dude.
And I was like, but they also believed that everybody of their faith was going to heaven. And I was like, you do
Dude,
realize you have more than
I
400,000
had
people
a, I
in your
had
faith,
a,
correct?
I had a, what do you call it? State appointed roommate, who was of that faith, and
Right.
he looked at my Bible and he said, "This is not right." And I go,
You
"What are
can
you
prove an
talking about?"
afterlife with science, Nate.
Right, and I go, "What are you talking about?" And he pulled out his Bible and he said, "Yours says Yahweh,
Seriously.
and that is incorrect. Ours says Jehovah, which is correct." And I'm like, "Dude, hang on just a second. Let me see your Bible."
I'm not talking about the rapture,
And
Patrick.
I
It's a
looked at the
different,
front. I
it's a
looked at
whole
the
different
front of
thing.
their Bible, and that shit was written in like 1884, 1886, or some shit, right? And their whole Bible was written in the 1800s, and the other one had been written for thousands of years. And these people are saying yours ain't right, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, how you get, like, just So it was weird. I
Nate,
I
hold on, Kenny. Nate, scientists, you got to think about something. This meat sack is a shell, Nate. We are energy. Everything that has life or is in motion, according to physics, has energy energy cannot die. It cannot be dispelled. It cannot. It can't. Energy doesn't go away.
Nate,
It can change.
Yep.
That proves, even scientifically, there's some. Hey, we might become fertilizer for the trees, but there is some kind of after death. There has to be. Energy doesn't.
Our spirit moves on. Our body is gone.
Right. I'm a person that believes our soul goes somewhere. But what I'm getting to is, even with science, if you're trying to disprove, and the funny thing is, the two can go hand in hand. But if you're trying to disprove an afterlife, we are energy. Energy doesn't just stop. It converts or whatever, but energy, you don't destroy energy.
This is true, Patrick.
It doesn't die.
It is absolutely true. And I'll give you an actual example for both of you, okay? My uncle had a PhD in plant physiology. Okay, holds over 100 patents for equipment he made to be able to do the tests that he wanted to do. Is the only person documented in the world who absolutely understands 100% how plants react to moderate drought stress. Right. He's done all of these things, but there's been equal amount of failures. Okay. And so
it just reminded me of Checkmate on the Vegetarians.
Yep. With as great as all of those achievements are, there was failures along the way. My second wife was a scientist at a biotech company that was working on a flu vaccine for it was already a flu vaccine. There already was, but they were trying to figure out if they could spray it up people's noses for kids and elderly patients, right? And so they spent 9.5 years working on this vaccine before it got FDA approval. And it's known as flu mist, and it was for kids and elderly people, right? And along the way, do you know how many mishaps they'll have along the way before they figure out how to actually do it?
Plenty.
Yeah. That's how it goes. You know, scientists do the best that they can. You know, it's like any profession.
Well, look, nobody's infallible, right?
Your doctor will do the best that they can, but they may not be right.
This is the one thing that kills me. The state of Mississippi right now has a hard time getting doctors because more so than any other state in the union, the insurance here is ridiculous because there's more fucking malpractice suits than anywhere else in the country. Yep. The problem with that is, and I get it, sometimes there is gross malpractice. However, everyone should think about something when they go to the doctor. It doesn't matter if that motherfucker graduated top of his class in Yale or was a D student that barely scraped through med school. You are getting someone's, even a doctor, you are getting their educated guess.
Yep.
Their educated guess.
Yep. When you think about it,
and people should remember that, man. I mean, doctors are not.
There is no doctor house. There is no doctor house. Okay. And so in all reality, no man or woman will ever be able to understand what is going to shut your body off. Right. And so they're doing the best that they can based on what they were trained into. Right. But I also understand that there's a lot of influence in that industry where it has to do with pharmaceutical companies influencing them to push meds instead of allowing them to do the traditional stuff that worked better without the addiction, you know? So that's the hard thing for me, but you know
what concerns me these days though, man? Last time, this is why I hardly never go to doctors anymore.
Absolutely.
People can call me anti-medical science or whatever. But last time I went to a doctor, other than for my stomach surgery, I had at the time plantar fasciitis and fucking heel spurs. And I come in there, my feet were hurting, dude. I work on my feet all day, every day. And it was getting to where I almost couldn't walk. And he discussed treatment options and all other kind of shit, which worked, obviously, because I work and walk fine now. Yeah. But he kept going, you seem depressed. I think I'm going to write you a script for antidepressants. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm not depressed. My goddamn feet hurt.
Right.
I don't need. I mean,
Not how
And
we
there's
feel, not
far
how
too
we
many of
feel
those.
about
There's far
the
too many
problem.
of those doctors out there these days. I will say
It's
that
not
they
how
fucking
we feel about the problem. It's what the problem actually is.
right. Let's not deal with the issue. Yeah, damn, I don't feel good right now.
Right.
You know what?
Because
My feet hurt.
like for me, okay, Daniel, I mentioned this to you. I'm gonna have to have my left knee replaced
Right.
because the procedure that they did on my knee didn't take, and that's what's causing the problem. And I'm bone to bone, and it's just gonna get worse. So I have to
Right.
do that. But the other knee has been doing all the work since they told me that. And now I got this knee hurting worse than that knee, and my doctor telling me I'm not going to let you do the surgery if this knee doesn't get better because you won't be able to recover. So,
Right.
you know, is he correct? He's making a guess based on his experience, education, and training, right? So he's probably more correct than my guess would be. And so to me, because I want an actual solution, I'm going to do what they tell me to do.
Right.
You know, and that's hard. Like this thing with my knee, I'm only 55. I shouldn't be having a knee replaced yet, right? But it is what it is. Dude, Sammy Hagar can't even drive 55. But you know, there is that. He drives 45. He's old now. All right,
Old man and a fast
we're
car.
gonna try this and see if anybody gets audio. Any audio?
I haven't heard anything yet.
Have you seen the video?
I have not.
Okay.
I mean, I'm seeing the video, but I'm not hearing it.
Oh, you ain't hearing it. Dude, this
No.
shit. Okay, look in your DMs and you do it.
What? I don't have DMs.
Look in your Discord DMs. I sent you the link.
Oh, hold on.
And then
wait,
you put it up and run it.
Oh fuck! How do I do that in here? I don't know what I'm doing.
You
this is
can
your shit.
just send it.
Let's see.
Put it in here and then add video. Like you open the screen and add video.
I see.
There
Hold
you
on.
go.
Hold on.
All right, we got this. We're old, but we're not that drunk. We can't remember. Oh, don't worry about it, Nate. I got this. Yeah, Sean, we got this. I don't know. Something's up with my shit. Listen, don't ask me. My kid's been shutting off my router every night and fucked up my whole security system at my house. I barely got the fucking internet back on before we started.
Oh, god damn.
Dude, I'm like, what do I tell him? He's autistic. I told him don't touch it anymore. Like my wife is like angry. She like wants to tell him she's gonna cut his hands off or something, right? I'll just tell him don't touch it. We'll be okay, right? Like, but I was mad, dude, because you know that mailbox I told you about that blew up. I was checking my camera to see if I had a video of it because it would have shown it, dude. They're like right over there, and it would have shown it on my camera, and it said my shit was disconnected from the internet. And I was like, what the hell? And then I realized my son was shutting it off at night. Oh, Lord.
So according to my shit, I have it up and running, but it's not in our feed. So I don't know.
Oh, you want it in your feed? Here you go. There you go. Okay, now
All
you
right.
get to run it. Full screen. Hey, what is that?
No. Hold on. Give me a minute.
Tell it no.
Sorry. Yeah. All right. You ready?
Yeah, full screen and get ready for this. You're going to like it.
All right.
Here you go, folks.
This
is
the
song to get us upbeat for the after party.
Okay.
Here we go.
That dude has a look, doesn't he?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Nah, this one's like actually crazy though.
Oh,
but I guess
this
they all are.
Climbing the rank, rhyming with grace, never shown signs of restraint. We're trying to be great. Put my soul into these records, I'm finding my taste. My mind is a bank of pure gems, dominant case.
First off, man, that little bass drop for me. See, I got control now, so I'm gonna be talking. That
Yep.
bass drop was awesome. I'm digging his flow so far. Man, his damn it, I lost my train, but I was vibing on those lyrics too, man.
Dude, and his cadence on the beat is almost like another
Yeah.
instrument.
It is. It is.
Look, your man's prolific, a ask a critic. The answers written in blood on the plaques and ribbons. The plan specific. Hustle and surpass my limits. I live a rock star lifestyle. Bands come with it. Come on, pursue a couple accolades and then proceed to kill. I make your favorite rapper change how they perceive skill. The money coming in so fast, don't gotta read the bills. And labels flashing money at me like I need a mill. Jesus, guess they didn't know that they was dealing with a genius. 800 racks out of my bedroom, not prestigious. Never seen this hunger with this level of achievement. Look inside the bank, it ain't no wonder I'm conceited.
This guy should be like, he looks like he has, I mean, as far as the look, he looks like he should be an MMA guy or something. Like, the look in his eyes, if I saw him walking down to the octagon, I'd be like, I might be fixing to be in for some trouble. And in his, I can say this. I know who he listened to growing up.
You can hear the
tonality of his
influence.
voice.
You can hear the.
I can definitely hear the influence. Right.
Yep.
But his shit's. I mean, you know, on our channel, everything's about being swole. Man, he's swole, and he's like, he's not fucking around, and it's not about
Okay,
anything
Sean,
other
we'll
than
keep trying.
go get that shit, man.
If it doesn't sync up, listen to it and wait for us to talk.
When a man in the mirror told me pursue the right cause, I went from suicidal to the suicide doors. Drastic, I'm increasing the bandwidth, advancing. Music is dark as Marilyn Manson, it's cancerous. I was making records at my dad's crib. The one you hearing now is from $1 million mansion.
Man, that is cancerous, man. That's you know, I've heard other artists, Mises in particular, talk about, you know, when and you know this too, man. Musically speaking, being a musician, when you get locked into the addiction that is being a musician, yes, it's your saving grace, but it's also your downfall at the same time.
You, when you're first starting, you don't understand that there is a like a max capacity for you to go.
Yeah.
Right. Like you don't realize that you're not going to be the Rolling Stones or Led Zeppelin
Right.
or Van Halen or, you know, name big ones in any genre. I worked in the industry for so long making guitars for artists. It's not even funny. But what I saw was all of the artists that we worked for that had been around forever, like ZZ Top, Kiss, Van Halen, Allman Brothers, freaking, there were so many dude that we did guitars for. All of them were like incredibly chill. Like they didn't act like rock stars.
Right.
They were just down to earth people. The ones that came in acting all cocky, like we made a guitar for Mark Slaughter, and he came in and acted like it cocky as hell with me. And I kept telling him, "Don't tell me how to make the guitar, just tell me what you want it to sound like." And he kept telling me how to make it, so I threw him out. And when he came back, I told him he couldn't talk to me, but his manager could, and we made the guitar for him. And we went to Capitol, and Capitol wouldn't pay for it because they kicked him off the label. Like, you know, so, you know, there is karma. You act stupid, right? And that's what happens to you. You know, the chill people.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
You know, be chill, right? Everybody likes you. You have a huge following. There's no reason to dislike you. That's, you know, basic in life. If you really want to get through life easy, be chill.
Right.
Right.
Just don't be a dick. Just don't be a dick.
Absolutely. Let's try and get back to this.
Long as the pen in my palm, I ain't got no business ever working no regular job. Picture me checking the clock, pray to replenish the quad. Never been a little fish type on the megalodon. Homie, you ready or not? Cause I'm about to make it all clear. If you bet against me, it's about to be a long year. Oh yeah, ain't no suit and tie, but homie, I've been in the boss tier. Neighbors looking at me like
I missed a couple of bars there for the simple fact that you got to have, you know, there's a fine line But it doesn't matter if it's music or a sport or as a banker you have to have a certain amount of that confidence in yourself. Like you was talking
Sean,
about, don't
we
bet against me.
recognize it.
You got to have a certain amount of moxie, so to speak. I mean, there's a level where it crosses into arrogance and stupidity, but you got to believe.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter if it's being a rapper or if it's fucking cutting grass. If it's what you're expecting to fucking cover you in your life, you've got to have a certain feeling about your ability to do that thing.
Dude, when I did my apprenticeship with Wayne Charbel to make guitars, at the end of it, a 2-year apprenticeship, I got a job offer. It was a good job offer. I was going to take it, and he told me when I left, he asked me this simple question: "Are you the best luthier that there is?" And I said, "No, you train me." And he goes,
Right.
"If you're not the best, then don't do it, because anybody can go buy 12
Right.
year, 12 a 1-year subscription to Guitar Player magazine and read the tech tips, right? Like,
Yep.
you either are the best or you're not." And that instantly groomed me
Right.
to understand that I had to be the best at what I did, right? It was a drive. It wasn't a thing of arrogance. It was a drive.
The thing is, you have to believe it though. I mean,
Yep.
you know, that's what made my brother Drake, and I'm gonna get you some old recordings. You're gonna die when you hear
Yep.
him, dude. But it wasn't just that he was that good. He put in the work to be that good.
Yep.
He didn't, I mean, he knew he could back up anything he could say without like beating you over the head with arrogance. He just, you know, Drake was kind of dude just walk in the door, and it didn't matter who was sitting across from him, and they start cutting heads, and they're like, "Who the fuck is this dude?" And Drake's kind of just smile and ease on out the door. You know what I'm saying? You have to have that belief in your ability to kill what it is you do. For sure. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You have to know that you can fucking kill it, or else you've got no business doing it.
When I worked in the guitar industry, after I left Wayne Charbel from my apprenticeship, the place that I worked at was between 2 guitar centers, equally distanced between them. Okay. And in Covina, West Covina, where the Guitar Center was, there was also a place called the Fret House, and the Fret House did all of the repairs for everybody, right? And so what I did, because of what Wayne taught me, is I charged $20 more for a fret dressing and $40 more for a refret than they did. And when people told me that they could get it done cheaper at the Fret House, I said, "Go ahead, let them F up your guitar, and when you're done, you still have to pay that much for me."
Right.
I have made guitars for these artists, right? Like, and you just give them the list. It's not a matter of arrogance. It's a matter of confidence that nobody can do better than you, you know?
And you
Right,
really,
Sean.
especially when you get into the world of trying to be an entertainer, be it rap, be it rock, be it whatever, you have to know. When I was with Supernormal and we had our chance to be big and we got screwed, and that's a whole story in itself, but we fucking believed that we called it pissing on the stage and marking our territory. We believed that we should own, and there should be no question, every stage we performed on.
Right.
I don't care if Ozzy's been there. I don't care if Dream Theater's been there. I don't care if Nightwish has been there. I want, when we leave that building, our name is remembered forever. And that was what set Supernormal apart. It didn't matter if we were playing for 25,000 people or 19 in a little backwoods bar. That was our belief. This is our house.
Yep.
Because it's our fucking house. And we can do that. You have to have a piece of that in you.
With us, it didn't matter who we were opening for, because when we went on tour, our tour was opening for a lot of artists. Okay, from from Jane's Addiction to Gore to like all these fucking crazy artists, right?
Plus, it was like Godsmack and Disturbed and Creed and different shit like that.
We went out there, and our goal was to blow people away so they wouldn't forget us. Right? That's it, because you're not the headliner. Okay, now there's those rare occasions, and I've talked about it with people like in Discord today. We're talking about it. The thing, like, I went and saw Skid Row open for Guns N' Roses, and Skid Row blew them away. Right?
Oh,
but that's
I don't doubt that at all.
But that doesn't happen all the time. Right? That doesn't happen all the time. So
our very first opening gig, man, was in Memphis, and it was our rhythm guy. You've heard me talk about him. We still to this day call him New Guy.
Yep.
But his older brother was a Memphis legend in hard rock, and at that time, Memphis was a huge hotbed. Saliva came kind of out of there. That's where they got found. Some other groups at that time. I mean, it was a real hotbed for hard rock at the time, and we went and opened for his brother's band, and they were local legends. And immediately they played 3 songs and left, started pulling their shit. And Miss Nita's like, "Why?" The woman that owns the bar, and I'm like, "They don't want to hear us. They want to hear them." But he actually wasn't mad about it because it was his little brother, our rhythm guy. He was actually stoked about it, but he wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong. They didn't want to hear them, even being the local legends that they were. They didn't want to hear them. But you have to feel that as a performer, man. They can't nobody. It doesn't matter if it's true or not, but there's a certain part of that has to reside in you to be able to go out there and wow motherfuckers. Dude, you have to believe that you can wow motherfuckers.
I've been terrified on stage because we did a show in Europe with this gothic opera singer named Diamanda Galas.
I know who that is.
And she was produced by John Paul Jones. And at that show, John Paul Jones was on stage. Like, we knew he was going to be playing. And I was terrified, right? Like, all I could do is focus on don't fuck up when I pick it and don't fuck up where my finger goes, right? Like, dude, it was the basics because I was just absolutely terrified. And, you do your best out there, and people don't necessarily know in the crowd where your head is with it, right? Like, whether you're cool or you're just fucking trying.
You just touched on something, and as a musician in a band, you know this as well as I do. There is always, especially when you've worked out your set list, you've played it, and the actual gig part of it goes on autopilot. There is always an unspoken conversation going on stage between the musicians performing that the crowd has no idea.
Yep.
What's going on. There's always this, it might be about the eggs we ate last Sunday, and there won't be a word spoken, but there's always some kind of conversation going on in there.
And they don't necessarily know how easy it is to communicate with, the right equipment, to the board where the technician's talking to you while you're playing, or you can set it up where you have interaction with the audio on the mic with your other guitar players or bass players or drummers. They're not necessarily hooked up to the board with volume, but you could log into them, like connect to them and then hear them talk, and you could talk back to them. It's just not through the mains where the crowd can hear it. And a lot of times it looks like we're singing, and I'm literally telling the drummer, tell him more volume on your kick drum.
Right. Now, see, Kenny, I'm gonna have to stop this, man. We can sit here and talk shop for this kind of stuff forever. We were doing a reaction. Back
to it.
I'm gonna have to take us back to that. Damn it.
Back to it. I should take a
But hey, that I love when an artist inspires a good conversation like that, man. That means he has some depth to what he's selling.
Yep, absolutely.
Neighbors looking at me like a bum who don't belong here. It's only fueling the flame. I got respect plus power, don't confuse it with fame. Never worry about another man or who's in the game, cause I'm a king, y'all are pawns, we ain't moving the same. Gotta climb till I fall, I survived through it all. I done swam through the universe, aligned with the laws. Tell them rise and applaud, I'm about to get it poppin'. Sell the boy a business, I'ma run it like Goggins. I got this, all around the world they been in my arena, go, yeah. Every other line I write inspiring the growth. All this paper stacking, now we silencing the jokes. I cannot imagine when retirement approach. Still that shit ain't happening soon. I'll 20x my net worth and then it's back to the booth. Shit is bigger than the game. This is my path to improve. And if I'm breathing, I don't have an excuse. Know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's bigger than the game. It's my path to improve.
Dude, I like his flow, man. I like his hold on, let me kill that shit. I'm a big you know me. It doesn't matter if it's rock, rap, it doesn't matter if it's emotional. And this is people have to take this the right way. A song, for it to hit you in the chest and make you remember, it has to have balls, man.
Yep.
Has to have balls. Even the tender, sweet, lovey stuff. It has to come with some testicular fortitude of its energy, or it's not going to get to you.
There's a reason why
that was swole, dude. That beat and that pocket, that was a great pocket for him. His flow was killing on that, man. Dude, I can definitely hear influences in him. I don't have to name no names. Anybody that
did you hear how he was riding the beat with his ups and downs in his vocals, where he would put the emphasis?
It was like he was surfing it. It was like he was
exactly. He's like riding the wave of the beat and hitting the peak right when the peak should be there, and then dropping off and coming back for another peak. You know,
right? And there was a certain. We use it with church a lot on our channel, but there was a certain chip on that shoulder, and you know, I want that. And that reminds me, like I said, that reminds me of a particular Mises song called "Go Get It." But that was like, you got to go get it, man. And he believes that he can, and he's gonna.
Yeah.
And I like that, man. I like that in a musician. You, like I said, especially if you're gonna, because the thing is, and you know this as well as I do, Kenny.
Oh yeah.
95% of the bands that are making millions, you personally know bands that would slay them on a stage.
Oh man.
Today the industry is more about an image like
it's
that.
All image.
I know bands. There's a band we used to see called Eden's Alley that was fucking amazing. They were kind of in that Godsmack genre,
right?
I think they would have put. You want my honest opinion? I believe they would have put Godsmack to bed. These guys were good.
Tawana, what's up?
Weren't the right. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, like for me, I've seen the difference between image and talent. If you want image, you see what's charting, right? If you want talent, you
go see their live show and decide.
You see Rush, Pink Floyd.
Fuck yeah, man.
Okay,
there's very bands. That's why I like Dream Theater, man.
Yeah, you look at those because it's not about personality and charisma. It's about talent as a musician. Slaying it, as you're playing it. And
it's like, I'll make a lot of people mad, but as a bass player, I'm gonna tell you right now, he may not be to your taste and may not play in the genres you enjoy. But the bass player for Dream Theater, Young, what he is actually capable of on that bass guitar, there's not another human being like him walking today.
Yep.
I said it. I mean, I don't even listen to him on the daily. He's not in the kind of shit I bump to. But as a bass player, if I want to go fucking drop my jaw and be inspired, there's just not a motherfucker anywhere else on the planet that can. Now, he plays a particular genre. But if you ever get his instructional video, you'll get to hear him do some blues and some funk. But his technical mastery of the instrument. Now there are other bass players I'd rather listen to on the daily that are so good that it doesn't matter anymore, and have a different a groove that I like more. But as far as mastery,
right,
Young is a fucking.
Well, you and I have.
It's ridiculous.
You and I have a lot of similar tastes in bass artists. Whether it's Jocko or it's John Paul Jones or it's Geddy Lee or it's who you're talking about, John Entwistle. You
do
know,
you want to know one of my favorite
go down the
bassists,
names.
though? And he'll never his name will never be mentioned with those.
Eye of the Tiger.
Trujillo.
Oh Lord.
Trujillo.
Oh, Robert Trujillo.
This with Metallica now.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. He plays. I respect him because he plays the same way I played on stage, like a beast. That's why people call me a beast. But if you ever actually break down that motherfucker's ability to do what the fuck he wants to do with that bass guitar, Trujillo is a monster.
If you like Metallica, go check out the '90s era. Like a good album would be Lights, Camera, Revolution from Suicidal Tendencies, and listen to him there, and then compare what he did there to what he's doing with Metallica, and understand the diversity.
And the funny, and I'm not even trying to hate on Newstead or anybody else.
Newstead was a badass.
Fucking, he was.
He was never gonna replace. He was never gonna replace him. And the fans viewed it that way, which was the unfortunate thing, because in all actuality, if you actually go listen to the albums he was on, those bass lines are sick.
Yeah.
Like, for real, they're sick.
Right. You touched on something else. Funny enough, Zach Wilde went through a piece of that when he finally was the guy to settle in with Ozzy after Randy Rhoads.
Yeah.
Now, fortunately for Zach, he is also a bad motherfucker, and people went, "Oh, okay, okay."
He was way more accepted than Jakey Lee, and Jakey Lee is a phenomenal guitar player.
He is a phenomenal
absolutely. Guitar player. But it was the same exact situation. People adored Randy Rhoads, and whoever they brought in was never going to be good enough.
Right.
It didn't matter if they were or not. They weren't going to be good enough according to the fans. And
when Zach came along, it wasn't so much that they went, "Oh, this guy's better than Zach." I mean, than Randy or anything. But people took a breath and like, "Okay, yeah, this band."
Tawana. Hey, I was born in '68, and there's a really 74. Good chance. There was a really good chance my parents were on acid when they conceived me, which would explain a lot right now.
Yes, in fact, I'm going to have to agree with you there, Kenny.
Yep. Well, and that's the thing. As a musician myself, I am intimidated to play around other people because I don't want to be judged. But at the same time, I listen to huge, phenomenal artists, and I want to strive to be them. I just don't want to go through the competition.
Do you know where I got lucky? Coming out of high school, at the time I was a trombone player, and I came in a jazz band, and there's a lot of improv in jazz. And if you're supposed to be able to cut your weight, you should be able to solo on top of changes and know what you're doing to the point you don't have to think about it. Blah, 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 blah.
You've heard of the Lemon Jackets, right?
Yeah.
With John Petitucci? Yeah.
Oh, Petitucci.
I know exactly what you're talking about right now.
He got mad. The one time I saw Petitucci got mad because everybody was asking him to play.
Yep.
I saw him at the Wichita Jazz Festival, and everybody was asking him to play Les Claypool licks. He got mad. He did the first few. And then he's finally like, "Look, does anybody want to hear any of my shit?"
Could you imagine how many really great bass players get asked to do Les Claypool? I bet there's, a number of them. Like, that's wild because he came in and literally changed what the bass could sound like. John Entwistle came in and changed how you could play the bass.
Right.
And he changed how it could sound, and it was just amazing watching them in concert. The best concert I've ever seen, Rush at the Great Western Forum, opening act Primus. It was phenomenal.
Oh my God, what a
yep.
Rush and Primus. Oh my God.
Oh, it was phenomenal, man.
Les is I will call Les elite. He's not the technically best bass player on the planet. I've already said who that was. But you're right. He came along and showed people you can do there's a lot of shit you can do with a bass. And he changed the way a lot of bass players think, mine included. As a bass player, I hate to say it, but country is my least favorite thing to play because it's a lot of doom, doom, doom. And I'm a perpetual motion guy. Something's got to be moving. I'm going to give the tonal pitch bottom, which is what and also drive the rhythm, which is what the job of my instrument is to do. But I'm not one of those guys that can just sit on notes. I'm a very perpetual motion kind of guy. And you got guys like Geddy Lee that started showing bass players that they could be active and still provide the job of a bass in the grand pyramid of sound.
All you ever have to do is go back and listen to old music to see how it's evolved. You know, you will always find the phenom within a generation.
I'm going to pick on you though, Kenny. I'm going to pick on you though.
Huh?
One thing I can always tell, if I hear a guy throwing down on bass, I can always tell if he was a guitar player first.
Oh, that's true.
Because as a bass player, you can get just as notey as long as you still provide what the bass is supposed to be providing. I can tell when guitar players play a bass, they can do some crazy shit, but they leave behind. I'm like, wait a minute now. There are still a couple of functions the bass guitar serves to the sound that you're not providing anymore. You can do all that notey shit, but you still got to provide what you can always tell when a guy started on guitar first.
Absolutely.
You can always tell. You can always tell.
When I play bass, I focus on the drums. That's my only objective. I don't care about the vocals. I don't care about the guitar. I'm listening to the drums because
as a bass guitar, you give the tonals. As a bass guitar, you give the root of the tonal system, but you also drive the rhythm that the drummer's laying down. The drummer's laying down the beat. You drive it.
Yep. And if you're not syncing, like if you're worried about what the guitar player's doing or the keyboard player, it doesn't work. And
you lock in with your drummer first. Always.
As a guitar player, all I ever this is gonna sound horrible. I just remember every time I played, I go, "Don't fuck it up. You wrote it."
Right.
Like, try not to fuck it up. You've actually practiced this a million times, right? Like, you actually wrote the thing, right? How hard can it be? You know, but inevitably you'll be like flaming up the neck, and all of a sudden you get that one half off, and it's like, oh God. My pinky landed in the wrong spot.
I will say this. In my prime, I'm not going to say I was elite. I'm not going to say any of that bullshit. I will say this. In my prime, I would not have been afraid to walk on stage with any bass player and let's throw down. You might get me, but you're going to have to show me. That's where, dude. And now my hands are so out of shape, I can barely even play the easiest.
I have the opposite because when I started making guitars, I didn't know how to play them. I was a saxophone player, right? I just happened to get the apprenticeship with Wayne Charbel to make them. And I told him, like, shouldn't I know how to play guitar? And he's like, Leo Fender was a saxophone player too. Don't worry about it. All you have to know is you have to be able to touch every single string between every single fret to test whether or not it buzzes. And that was it. That was my finger exercise.
Kenny, I need you to listen to me clearly right now because you're intoxicated as I am. You need to send me a message tomorrow and remind me to send you. This guy is playing a guitar solo on a completely redesigned. The heading says, "How many frets does a guitar need?" And
Jesus.
There is no straight frets. It's all half curved frets.
God! Dude, listen. What is this slanted fret shit and all the fucking chopping? Listen, y'all are making life complicated. Y'all need to, before you try and redesign anything, go to 13 to 56 or 13 to 64s like Stevie Ray Vaughan did. All right, and learn to play the blues like him. Otherwise, don't try to redefine it because you got a synthesizer or some other crap. Like, dude, the real
you just mentioned something
there.
Most people don't realize a lot of the best metal and hard rock bands have
No
At least
patches.
yay
We
much
won't.
blues
Watch
in
this
their sound.
technical. Okay, patches. We're gonna change the topic. Ready? Daniel,
Yeah.
how's your back feel?
Right now, great, but I'm also drunk.
Okay.
Now, when I wake up in the morning, that might be a different fucking
Did we lose
story.
any skin on the back?
No, I didn't realize till I got home and hugged my wife. I lost some on my knuckles, and I lost a little bit. I mean, not much on my elbow.
Daniel
I mean, I really just hit with a thud. I didn't scrape up much or
Daniel
anything like that.
likes doing backflips off a dock. I
I
asked my wife to make sure I didn't fall off the ladder when I installed my friend's security system today. Like Daniel's a stunt man. I'm
Hey,
not.
madam.
What up, madam? No, we're not doing music theory now. We're talking about how you've been gone. So where you been,
How are
madam?
you feeling, madam? How are you feeling? I know
Yep.
she's been feeling bad.
That's
How are you doing,
a good
madam?
question.
I'm so drunk, I ain't even afraid to wear my glasses. My grandpa glasses.
Dude, madam, you missed it. My son came in earlier and we were on camera, not here in Discord. And he came home with his brand new glasses and he's looking at shit and not squinting. It's fucking awesome, dude. Like, he looked at my phone and could read the text on my phone. It was dope. Watch it. Am I back in sync? Red? If I'm not, I'm blaming it on the explosion that happened right there on Sunday. At least this time we didn't show up in the news for how fucked up they painted the street with those lines that went like this. And people were like, what the fuck? I'm going to get a DUI if I drive through that shit. Oh, Lord. And we now have the first turbo roundabout in California. You know how that's going to work out? Truck versus Tesla. Good Lord. Oh, Tawana. My son is 18 and because he's autistic, his family while he was in the Philippines did not think about doing eye exams on him because he could read and stuff. But what they didn't realize is he was reading while squinting. And I worked in optics for a while, so I ended up taking him to get his eye exam, and it turned out he was pretty nearsighted with a bad astigmatism. And so now he gets his first glasses, and he comes home, and he's sitting there, and he's reading the signs, he's reading everything on the wall, he's reading my phone, like he could see good. It was dope.
Dude, I hate to bail like that. I was actually just going to hand my beautiful wife my cup and see if she'd fix me a drink, but the banana pudding cake was done, and I had to taste it. And I'm here to tell you that is some next level. I would fuck that.
Where is my slice?
It is fucking good. Jesus Christ.
Okay, listen.
Come on over, dude. That shit is fucking fire.
Have you heard about shrink wrap baggies? Like, you know.
Oh, my God. That shit is so fucking good.
Dude, I'm hungry as hell.
And what's funny is I didn't even cut it. I just like took a fork and got a little bit of the corner out just to taste it. Oh, dude, now she's in there. I bet she's still in there eating it. I promise she didn't stop with one bite. Oh, my God, that shit is fucking good, dude. When I get off here, I ain't gonna lie, I'm going to throw down some fucking banana pudding cake. Oh, Nate, that shit is fucking better than fucking, I mean, why fuck it? Eat that shit, man. God damn it. For guys, most of the time, you have a better chance of getting her off by eating it than fucking it anyway. So,
right.
Badums.
Dude, listen.
That shit's good.
All I'm saying is I'm about to start going over to Discord messing people up. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell anybody who's under. Okay, let me think. Do I go with my oldest kids, like under 31, or do I go with my second kid, like under 19? Or there wouldn't be anybody my son's age, 18 or under, right? Like I don't think so because we age restricted this. But for all of you, all right, do me a favor. Try not to believe all the shit they tell you. Dude, if there was any lesson I could give to any of my kids, it's don't believe the shit they tell you, right? Like, believe what's real. I know this. If I drink 7 shots of Screwball, I'm drunk, right? That's real, right?
That's real. That's fucking
I
real.
know that if I smoke out of that stupid
Oh, it's
blow
true.
bong,
It's damn true.
I know if I smoke out of that blow bong 3 times, I'm high out of my mind, right? Okay. I also know that
Hey, Shauna.
half of what we see on TV is BS just to distract us. Did you freeze or did I?
No.
Dude, my bong's still
I'm in
lighting
too
on
good of a,
fire.
I'm just in too good of a mood to go there right this second.
I gotta put this out because like my bong is still smoking and it's going across the camera.
Hey, I got a fresh load. Hold on.
Fresh load.
Just
Damn.
stroked it.
Let me check my Depends.
When
Dude, I'm 55 and they got to replace my knee. What the hell? Dude, they lied when we were kids. Oh, life begins at 40. Fuck you. That's when arthritis began.
Right. Oh, it began earlier than that for me. The funny thing about my fall today, like I said, I feel great now. It's if you've ever had those moments though, you know the next morning is when that shit. You know, I was lucky in the fact that I had already taken something for pain, and now I'm drunk. But no, tomorrow morning I'm gonna hate everyone.
Hey, Sean.
Fuck all y'all.
Dude, I have an appointment in like how many days are in this shitty ass one on 30 or 31.
Why is August so shitty for you, Kenny? Did August shit in your Cheerios?
It's my daughter's birthday and she don't talk to me. So
pardon me.
We'll say like
I get it. April 12th is that day for me. April 12th is that day for me. I get it.
8 plus 2. 10 days from now. Yeah, that's the one. 10 days from now. Dude, why does it bother us so much? Like when it's been so long, you know,
because
for
we
me.
give a fuck.
Yep. Dude, my daughter moved up to Northern California with her mom like 11 years ago, and she stopped talking to me a year ago tomorrow, right on her birthday. And all I know is the only thing I could do to honor her is be the best dad I could ever be. But Jesus, you want to know the crazy shit? You want to know why she disappeared and went MIA?
What's that?
Dude, she became a Mormon. It was like weird. Like 3 months before she turned 18, she became a Mormon and got baptized and went MIA. I was like,
that is so not where I thought you were going to go with that.
catch her. Do I need to move up there so I can catch her? Like, you know, knocking on my door.
Maybe.
I wish there was a handbook to life, right? So you could figure out all ahead of time all the shit you have to face. They don't teach you none of this crap in school. They teach you math and English and I don't know about. They used to teach about the history. Now they altered it, but whatever, right? They don't teach you about real life crap like that.
No,
Like,
and that's something I actually have tried to tell my daughters since they were very young. There's probably a certain do not like, but I have been on them
let's
from
see.
day one. Look, enjoy
He's running by.
being a kid, but there's going to be some struggle ahead. You might as well go ahead and get that
Right.
in your mind and understand that once you're out from under our care and you're trying to do it for yourself, life is struggle. It is not rainbows. It is not, any of that. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I just like if you're a real person and you can look at reality, you understand that like the things that are going on today is real, right? You're not worried about projecting or anything else, right? That bill came in, I need to pay that bill on such and such a day, right? With the hell,
What the hell? Indeed.
yeah. Oh yeah, Patches. I'm afraid of that. Like, what the hell she got herself into with that thing? But then derail, take over.
Crash that train.
What?
See, Kenny, we've achieved. We were on a tear earlier, and we have reached the actual drunk part of our podcast, and it is showing.
All right, listen. If you know where to meet us, meet us. If you don't, you better ask somebody.
Your ass better call somebody.
Dude, right, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Degeneration H proudly presents to you the
Dude,
road
do
dog,
not-
Jesse James.
Do not start that, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, holders and tramps, cross-eyed mosquitoes and beleaguered ants. We stand here before you while sitting behind you while telling you about the women's club meeting against the four corners of the round table, right? Like, don't go there. Dude, my grandpa taught me all that shit. He was weird. Like, he could have taught me how to not hit my fucking thumb with a hammer, right? But he taught me how to, like, do tongue twisters.
You know what my grandpa taught me?
Uh,
You might be a bad man, but if you are a dick, eventually somebody's gonna rock your shit.
yeah. Dude, yeah.
I had a very
Well,
no nonsense grandfather that way. My mother actually, when she was younger, dated this, I can't say, semi-famous martial arts / even in professional wrestling guy.
Oh,
And
Red.
that dude
Wait,
showed up.
Red's
That
saying
dude
we
showed
might
up.
need to pull the plug.
Okay.
Red, why? Because I just interrupted him in mid-sentence, and I feel like he's going to hit me now. So you better justify this.
Kenny, you live in California, brother. I'm in South Mississippi. I couldn't hit you if I wanted to.
Can I just get a request that y'all like click your heels 3 times and say, "Kenny, come home," and I just like show up in another state because this place is crap, dude. Like it for real. The only thing they give us is weed plants
Ooh,
and alcohol
Shauna.
at the grocery stores.
that sounds good. We had purpose earlier, madam.
Wait, did
were
you
doing
pickle
good.
them? How'd
Yeah,
you
that
do them?
sounds good.
Did you do them with carrots and
Shauna
stuff?
can
Shauna?
pickle. I can testify. Shauna can pickle.
I'm just wondering
fire.
if when they're done, they're like the taqueria ones. You know, pickle with the carrots.
Those pickled vegetables she brought us in Pensacola were fire, dude.
Y'all are making me
Shauna
hungry.
can
I
pickle.
didn't eat dinner, but my wife said we'll eat after the podcast, and I was like, okay. So I ate a thing of string cheese and 4 slices of salami, and y'all are talking about all this shit.
Oh God! For those of
Madam
y'all
Red
that are
says
joining us
Madam
late
Red
and don't
says we're
know,
babbling like idiots.
she's not wrong. For those of y'all that weren't here early, my wife made a banana pudding cake, and I made the mistake of going in there and trying it a while ago. I'm fixing to go. It's going to be better than sex, man. I'm fixing to go do some raunchy shit, some cake. Is what's fixing
Dude, don't F the cake, dude. That's not the objective.
I'll just smear it all over my wife and then eat it.
Yeah.
She'll hit me when she hears that I said that.
Oh, Jesus. My wife's going to hit me anyway. But no, she might not because she had good news. So we'll see. I might be safe tonight. Y'all can find out if you join the Discord after we get out of here.
I might be safe. We're hoping I'm safe. Please don't hit me. I'm actually a nice guy.
Dude, I'm
in the fetal position.
Dude, I'm going to be in a wheelchair next month, bro. This knee shit. Dude, what the hell is that? I'm 55. I didn't even have a good reason for it. It's not like I played football and got blown out by like some big ass linebacker or nothing. It's just like you're old enough that you have like this advanced shit that fucked up your knee for no reason. Like,
see, for me, it's a combination. I did play ball when I was younger, and I had a guy take out my knees intentionally. I was trying to roll a double play. But other than that, I grew up in that old school. I mean,
dude,
time I could walk, I had to work.
Shauna.
I had to work. So a lot of the damage to my body. What did she say about Whataburger?
She said, as good as the she asked if it's as good as the banana pudding shake they had at Whataburger.
Look, I've been to Whataburgers. I have been to Whataburgers, and I dig Whataburgers. But that particular Whataburgers, it was me and Shauna and Jocelyn and Jesse and Mitchell. That shit was good. They had the right people in the kitchen that day. I mean, it was just that shit was good. And that banana pudding shake was fucking good. But no,
can I tell y'all why I found my home? Because even though I was born in California, like I had like my grandparents were like, like frontier motherfuckers or something, right? Like they're hella assholed.
Patches, right? Happy wife, happy life.
Yep. And so they grew up like that, that frontier style. And for me, I always understood that if you worked hard enough, you could get the things that you wanted, right? And set your priorities, set your goals, and work on them both, and you'll achieve things. But with my family, it was like they raised me in that old style, and in that old style I still see it of all I can do as a content creator or whatever I do, right? Just do the best that I can. It doesn't matter whether I'm reacting to videos, podcasting, not doing anything online, but finding another business. I mean, I've done everything, that, right? All I have to do is strive to be the best that I can. And I should be able to achieve my goals. And if I can't, then that means my goals are not realistic. And I need to move on to something where the goals will be more realistic.
Yep. You also have to, one thing you have to remember about life, though, we are all trying to do better. We're trying to afford our way through this life, but don't lose sight of the journey, man. In the end, life is about the journey, not the destination.
Wait a minute. Patches says y'all are wimps when it comes to your women. Explain that. Like, I'm not afraid of my wife unless she's, it's that time or something. Then I might be. Or if she has a shoe in her hand.
Patches, and Patches, you've met me. I like pissing my wife off. It's hot. Now, I might suffer some damage, but some good times will come later. So,
dude, I'm not trying to
I'm
get
not a wimp,
hit in the head with a shoe,
but I try to be respectful. But no, I like making my wife mad. You've seen her when she gets mitty. She's hot as fuck.
What the hell? That one went out. Next. Oh, that one went out.
She really is. I'm a lucky dude. And I know it. That's why I try to be, you know what I'm saying? have to be in fucking dumbass Daniel mode all the time.
For me, I know that my wife was the only one who was willing to accept me. And that turned out to be perfect. It wasn't about what I might accomplish. It was about who I was. You know? When you're young, sorry, I just hit another world and that shit's like, when you're young, right? You're trying to like impress chicks with your car, with your whatever, right? But when you're trying to impress somebody, that's not reality. Reality is who you are.
Right.
And we are all guilty of that. Like, I don't know one dude who doesn't try to be something he's not.
Oh, Patches. I do. Because she does me, man. That sounds terrible. She don't just do me. I mean, she does do me. I'm her husband, but what I'm saying is I do indulge her because she indulges me. That woman takes care of me, man. I'm one of those. I'm not afraid to admit I am a little P whoop. She's a little D whoop too. We are good for one another, and we are good to each other. So yeah, I indulge her because she indulges me. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Why not? Why would I? If she is so good to me, why would I fucking not be? You know what I'm saying? That would make me a shitty husband.
Well, dude, I'll tell you, this was an interesting night. You know, from you telling me about flipping on your back, I was like picturing it, like you said, shot out of a cannon. And I was like, that's what we're titling tonight. Like, dude,
I'm serious. To people outside, that's what they would have seen is all of a sudden just me go.
If that was me, they would have been calling 911. They would have had to put me on a stretcher because I'm old. I'd be like workers' comp, you know, like I don't care. At that point, I'm like, whatever, get me out of here.
I freaking dude, I was sucking for air so hard. Like I said, I was trying to get back to the dock to ensure I didn't get seen, and I felt so stupid too. That
Did
was
you end up moving the condenser?
Yes. I still had to do my fucking job.
Dude. Oh my God.
I took about 2 minutes and cussed and searched for breath, and then I finished doing what I had to do.
Hey, dude, you're a stronger man than me. I'm old. I'd be like, you know, I have to look at the amount of effort that goes into it, you know, just so I can figure out whether or not it's worth trying.
Like I said, Kenny, it just so happened that my back and shit, and like I said, we've talked about this. I'm not big to take pain med for a reason.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that I had just taken one. And then once that wore off, I've gotten drunk. Like I said, tomorrow morning, I'm probably going to be a pissed off motherfucker.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell now, even just sitting, everything is stiff. And things ain't wanting to move right and everything. And I'm like, oh God, yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna hate me. And it was one of those things I can't blame on anybody else either. I mean, I didn't. Though it's like everything else, man. Those straps that come on those like that they're built. That's what they're for.
Yeah.
And like everything else, they've gotten cheap. Used to, man, I could snatch one of them motherfuckers up by one of those straps by the forklift if I could use the forklift delicately enough to do so. Yeah. So, you know, and I just popped. They both popped at the same time. And like I said, I was trying to move about 300 pounds. So I had coiled my legs. And when I went to pull and that bitch popped, I just went,
yeah.
I know I'm going to feel it tomorrow.
Oh, dude, when you told me, like, I'm going through this thing where I'm waiting to get my left knee replaced. So I've been like, you know, running around on my right knee doing all the work, and then my right knee's like totally trashed. And my doctor told me, like, if you don't get the right knee under control, we're not letting you replace the left knee because you won't recover. I'm like, dude, this is like a vicious cycle. Like, they didn't tell us about that shit when we were young. like nobody ever told us about like, you know, like bone to bone or hip or whatever. Like, you know, our parents didn't bring that shit up.
Actually, funny enough, I tried to tell my kids that, because my mama tried to tell me when I was, and I was one of, I was one of those fearless kids that was jumping, off
Right.
of bridges into rivers and ignorant shit around here. And she was like, "Look, man, you're gonna fuck something up, and when you get to be my age, you're gonna be mad about it." So
Oh.
my mom actually did try to warn me. She's like, "You're gonna pay for that shit later."
Yeah. I just like when you're a kid, you don't think about consequences,
No.
right? If you've kicked your toe on the leg of your bed 5 times in one
That's
week going
daily.
to the bathroom, you know, you care about the consequences, right?
You would
You
think
know,
that, but dude, if I could show you my toenails right now, my toenails on all my toes are deformed. I have kicked fucking the legs of the bed, cabinets, coffee tables. I just, dude, my feet, my toes are so destroyed from me kicking shit. And my
oh,
wife's like,
Shauna,
that shit's there.
Shauna, I ain't trying to be brave like that shit. I'm trying to be realistic. My fat, unexercised ass is gonna take a while to heal, not 2 knees in 2 weeks. My uncle had both his hips done 90 days apart, and he was like 80 freaking
Oh God.
6 or something. Yeah, dude, I'm like, I'm not like that. I'm trying to heal, right? So, all right. Well, what do we got?
Cord.
You want to go to the cord?
Yeah, it's fixing to have to be that time for me. I do have
All
to
right,
do this.
we're gonna
I
go to
still
the
have to do
cord,
this again
guys.
tomorrow.
If you know, you know. If you don't, well, then you don't.